But I just thought I thought it was pretty funny to hear. I read a quote this week, and I'm sure a lot of people have already heard it, but Russell Wilson said, or a source says that Russell Wilson likes the emerging O-line, a good, solid, offensive-minded head coach, and an intriguing market that make Chicago. That's what makes Chicago appealing to Wilson.
That's two truths and a lie.
I wrote down on the notes. I said two of these things are not like the other. So yeah, you're coming to a great market, sure. Best fans in the country. I'll give you that. You could get a Portillo's hot dog whenever you want. Like, there's a lot of good things about Chicago. Summertime shy, dude.
Deep dish pizza.
Deep dish pizza. Everyone's nice. Everyone's way nicer here, I can guarantee you, than probably Seattle or New York.
But Matt Nagy is not an offensive genius.
But. Matt Nagy is not good or solid. And he's not an offensive-minded head coach.
Time, and the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. And now, the starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls. The 40, the 30, the 20.
Back to week 2 of the Shy Sports Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Max. We're here with your same good buddies, Kyle and Tyler, our producer. We're here on Tuesday, March 9th, and we're going to give you as much information as we can about Shy Sports and what's been going on Twitter, what's been going on in the Bears, Cubs, Bulls, Blackhawks, maybe a little bit of the Sox, I guess. So we're gonna hit you with some action.
Kyle, you want to start with tweets?
Yeah, I was going to say we'd be remiss though if we didn't feel like this is bigger than the tweets. It's two Chicago sports legends retiring.
Yeah, why don't we kick it off there?
I mean, shit. You're the Bulls.
I didn't know you retired today.
Yeah, soon. Like I said, you're the Bulls guy. I'm the Hawks guy. Do you want to start off with Noah? Joakim fucking Noah.
Yeah, sure. So, Big Joe Noah announced his retirement. I think on 3/2 he announced it. And he's retiring as a Chicago Bull, right where he belongs. He definitely had his best years of his NBA career in Chicago. I think he was up there in MVP voting in the 2013 season. He was averaging close to 13 points, 11 boards, and 5 assists. Something that we hadn't really seen in the league come from a center.
2 national championships at Florida too.
Right. And notorious LeBron James hater and villain, which is also a big plus in his corner.
Did he say that before, that he doesn't like LeBron?
It just seemed like the rivalry was at its peak when Joe was on the Bulls. When it was the Thibodeau Bulls.
Was that when he said nobody goes to Cleveland for vacation?
Yeah, it was a press conference and something along those lines. It was a press conference and he said something like, "What's so great about Cleveland? Nobody goes to Cleveland. No one says I want to take a vacation to Cleveland."
I've been to Cleveland once for a work trip, in and out the same day. Absolute shithole.
Yeah, I stopped there on the way back.
Cavs didn't even cover.
We went to Cooperstown for my younger brother's baseball tournament, and we stopped in Cleveland on the way back just to check off another baseball field off the list. We went to Progressive Field for a game. Field itself was nice, but the city was pretty lame.
Was that before or after 2016?
I don't even know, which kind of tells me that it was before.
Mitchell.
So yeah, Joakim Noah retiring a Chicago Bull, which is nice.
What's your favorite Noah memory?
The thing that I probably liked most about him was when he would backpedal down the court and give you the 2 guns, the pistols. Knock down maybe like a 12-foot jumper somehow with that two-handed chest shot, side spinning into the net.
Oh, that's a good question. Do you think Joakim had the ugliest shot form?
I think the real question is, and I don't even know if he knows, was he a righty or a lefty?
Oh shit.
Ambidextric as fuck.
If we get him on the show, we're gonna have to ask.
hey, you actually just I thought he's a righty, but I had to think for a second there.
Yeah.
Like, what is his dominant hand? His sternum?
He was just throwing chest passes at the rim. But yeah, he's pretty much a Bulls legend of the 2010s. You go back to that season where they had 50 wins, the D Rose MVP season when he was lighting the NBA on fire.
Was that the year I thought they went like 60-12. Was that the year?
Yeah, I think that was the same year.
The ACL year?
We don't talk about that.
No, things we don't talk about on this podcast. The
ACLs.
We'll find something else
for
very soon,
many
probably.
reasons.
Yeah, too soon.
But yeah, Joe was like Derek's trusty sidekick. Obviously, that team went like 5 deep on the bench. They were really good.
The bench.
They were not your traditional NBA team. They played 3, 4, 5 guys deep on the bench, and everyone on the team could play. It was sweet.
Well, let's switch into those 2010 era Bulls. So one of our first tweets this week, March 2nd, 2013, posted this more just out of a tribute to Noah, but it happened to be on that same day, 21-10. So in 2012, 2013, he had 33 double-doubles. How many do you think he had in 2013, 2014, that season?
Man.
I thought this was like I thought having 33 double-doubles in a season was just absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
That's what he had the following year.
I'll say 35.
He had 47 double-doubles.
Man.
They play 82 games. Ty knows I'm no math guy, but that's over 50%.
That's good math. I'm starting to think you are a math guy.
How crazy is that? He had 47 double-doubles.
Right.
This is Derrick Rose we're talking about, right?
Joakim Noah.
Joakim Noah. Okay.
That is impressive. I mean, I'm sure they were pretty much all points and rebounds. You might have had a couple 10 assist games, but when you could lock that into your lineup every night, that's a good feeling.
Do you think they'll retire number 13?
I don't know. Isn't that unlucky?
I mean, he's wearing it now. If it was going to be unlucky, wouldn't they tell them straight up the gate, don't wear number 13? Come on now.
No, I don't think his number. I don't think his number will get retired.
Noah. Name one good player who's number 13 that wore number 13 ever.
Alex Rodriguez.
Dan Marino.
The list could go on here.
Starlin Castro.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
Wait, hold on. I said A-Rod and Dan Marino, but when I say Starlin Castro, you're like, oh yeah, that's a good one.
That might be the best one I've heard.
One legend and 2 pigeons. And the legend's still playing. Wow, that was we just went from Joakim Noah to Starlin Castro.
Perfect. What a connection that is.
Holy shit, yeah.
Now I really feel like it's 2010.
All right, let's go to the second Bulls post here, still in the 2010s. This one was today, March 7th, 2012. Derrick Rose in Milwaukee at the fucking buzzer. This is an unbelievable step back.
That was so sweet.
How good he was in 2016, the Windy City Assassin. Jesus Christ.
That was sweet as pie.
Does that not just make you depressed that his career essentially was taken short from him?
Yeah, it really does suck because
he's still playing, but
right, it's just not the same guy.
Not at all.
He was in that MVP season. It was a no doubter that he was the best point guard in the NBA.
I don't know if I said this when we recorded last week, but I feel like every time I watch him go to the hole, I'm just staring at his knees.
Right.
Like even on this clip that we posted today, when he's dribbling and he takes a step back, it's like, holy fuck,
they're like rubber bands. He's bouncing all over the place.
Christ, yeah. No wonder he tore it. Like it's like
no, he was an absolute freak though. My favorite part about him was his dunks too. The dude was like 6'1", and he would just explode to the lane, and he didn't really care who was in his way.
I mean, I can't get over the knees, but yeah, his dunks. What was it? The one over Dragic?
Yeah.
In 2010ish, maybe 2011.
Right.
Phoenix.
Yep.
Jumped over him.
It was an oop, right?
Yeah. No. That was you're thinking the one in Detroit or against Detroit from Ronnie Brewer.
Yeah. Yep.
That was the alley-oop, but it was like I think that might have been in the same month.
Yeah, he was like, I mean, just being a Chicago kid too. It felt like that was his dream, was just to play for the Bulls and take them to a title, and he almost got them there. It was a tough end of the D Rose era, but
You think
I
our
think
boy Io's coming to the Bulls?
I would love that. You
Give
know,
me a
he's
percentage
the
here.
I just saw a stat today that he's the only player in college basketball in the last 11 years to average over 20 points and 6 assists in a game, or on a season, per game on a season.
What's he projected to be in the lottery? Is he a lottery pick, or is he? I mean, he's definitely a first rounder, right?
Seems like he'll definitely be a first round pick. I would say he'll probably be like a mid first rounder.
Which is right where the Bulls would be picking.
Yeah, and that dude absolutely grinds. He's definitely he's such an improved player since he first came to Illinois.
Did you see that mask he wore yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Batman.
50 Shades of Grey, the whole thing.
Can we get in the merch biz? Can we just sell like that mask on a navy blue T-shirt?
He made it look so much better than LeBron did.
And an orange circle. Like, fuck, are you kidding me?
He's another Chicago kid. He went to Morgan Park High School.
Hey, are we in the merch business now?
Not yet, but we're about to take off.
Well, fuck, we better put a copyright on that shirt idea. That was brilliant. I think we're fuck.
Might
If
have to
they
cut
win,
that
I
in
think
the meantime, because
Yeah,
we got to
we're not.
copyright that before we release it.
I think we just hit the jackpot there. Are you kidding me? That'd be a sweet shirt.
So are you cutting that?
No. I was just kidding.
And we're not cutting this either. Let's just keep it rolling.
Just keep it rolling.
But yeah, Io and the Illini, dominant. That was
I don't know if you
want
to cut over to that a little bit, but we could talk shop on the Illini for a little bit.
I mean, that would be all you. I just saw the highlights from last night's game.
Yeah. So another big, while we're recording this, a little bit earlier today, Michigan lost to Michigan State, which is big for the Illini once again. Not necessarily.
I'm going to cut you off here for a sec. So speaking of Michigan State, do you ever follow this guy Mike North on Twitter?
I know who Mike North is, but I don't follow him.
That's a porn star name.
So is Allie Rose. So Mike North gives his gambling picks every day, and he picked Michigan State today. I'm like, no fucking way. Like, Michigan coming off their loss to Illinois. I think they were -7.5 or -8 on the road, and Michigan State's been kind of shitty.
Yeah.
He's like, Michigan State +8.5 and sprinkle the money line. I'm like, this guy's nuts.
That's fun.
Yeah. Did I do either of them? No, but he's been money all year. As I lost all my bets. No.
Yeah.
Here.
So I mean, well, they this is their second time playing them. So they came off that loss to Illinois, and then they played Michigan State on Thursday, and they beat the shit out of them. They won by 19. And then today, their schedule has been all screwed up because Michigan had that COVID shutdown. So they played Michigan State again today. So this is the second time within the past 3 days, and they lost by 6. So it doesn't do anything for Illinois in the Big Ten standings. Michigan already locked that up, but it seems more and more likely that the Illini are going to wind up with a 1 seed in the NCAA tourney. As long as they don't absolutely shit the bed in the Big Ten tourney, it looks like they're going to be a lock for a 1 seed.
Are they going to be the 1 seed in the Big Ten tournament?
They'll be the 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament.
Michigan's number 1?
Michigan's number 1, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got that coming up all week. I am so ready for March basketball.
Is there a better sports weekend than the first weekend of March Madness?
I don't think so. I think the month of March itself is as good as it gets.
Like, so the first Thursday games where it starts at like 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I honestly gotta think that's a top 3 sports day of the year.
It's definitely the least productive work day in America.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Corporate wise.
How often have you been at work and you're just like, fuck this, and you're streaming CBS or TNT or USA TV or whatever the fuck the games are on,
right?
And you're watching.
Well, yeah, one of my first corporate jobs. Whoever. I was new. I had just accepted a role in February, so I was like the new guy on the block. And it's the middle of March, and I'm working with a bunch of guys that are my age that have been there for a year. And everyone has like 3 screens because that's how it works in the fucking
You're a
cube
corporate
life.
guy.
Yeah. So all the guys that had been there are just sitting there with CBS pulled up on one of their screens, and they're just watching either Gamecast or watching a live game happen while I'm sitting there at my desk trying to organize my pens and staplers.
and that's corporate life. That's talking corporate life.
Right.
Hey, how amazing is it though that this year everyone's working from home? So much basketball to be watched in March. Are you kidding
This
me?
is true. So much
it's
gambling to be
nuts.
done.
It's not to say that it's not going to feel phenomenal just watching all those games, but there's still something when it's like you're at work and you're sneaking that game in. It's like getting into a bar when you're under 21. It's only better because it's like a little risque.
You feel a little dirty.
Yeah, a little bit.
So yeah, but the Illini with that win over Michigan, that improved them to 20-6 on the season, 16-4 in the Big Ten. And they're currently ranked number 4, but I bet you they're going to get bumped up now that Michigan lost again. I mean, they're going to be a top 3 team.
Yeah, I mean,
probably 2, somewhere after Gonzaga and potentially right before Baylor. So the really impressive thing about them was how much these role players and freshmen stepped up while Iowa was out. Curbello's averaging 14-7 and 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Adam Miller averaging 10 points, 4 rebounds. Trent Frazier, 11 points, 2 assists.
How about my boy Kofi?
Big Kofi in the middle. He's averaging 18 and 7 without Io in the lineup.
Is that good?
It's not bad.
And 7 good?
It's not bad.
Nice. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they took it to Michigan, which was a shock. I think they were 8.5-point dogs in that game. They beat Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're proving that they can win games without their best player, which is really saying something about the depth on this team. I think it actually might have helped them that he sat out for a couple games because it expanded these guys, gave them a different.
I feel like you see that when, or like in hockey or football, if you're missing if a defense is missing their star middle linebacker, like they somehow play a little better that next game. Like they're all just that much more focused. That's kind of how it seemed that it was for Illinois this week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, people are asking stupid questions too. Is Illinois better without Io?
Like I just did.
Yeah. And that's what I meant by people.
Well, people are asking stupid questions like the one you just fucking asked.
I didn't want to name names. I just wanted to look you in the face and tell you.
In the face and just say, "Shut up." Shut up.
So yeah, things are looking promising for the Illini. Looks like they're going to be a 1 seed, first time since the famous 04-05 season.
God damn, I cannot wait for that first Thursday.
Yeah.
It's a day after St. Patty's Day.
It's going to be.
Do you go out on St. Patty's Day?
Not on St. Patty's Day. This year is a weird one because St. Patrick's Day is on a Wednesday. So you don't know if you need to celebrate it the weekend before, the weekend after, or just drink green beer for 7 days straight.
Don't you think that's almost the best is when it's on a Wednesday?
Yeah.
So
because then you double
celebrate
dip.
Before you could celebrate on Wednesday and then celebrate the weekend after.
Right.
You get 3 St. Patty's Days and you get 2 days off in between.
You get 7 days in a row of drinking a beer at 7 a.m. and no one's allowed to say anything to you about it.
Yeah. Do you like corned beef?
I don't think so. Not the kind that you're talking about.
Do you like corned beef sandwiches?
I love a good corned beef. For what it's worth. Delicious.
For what it's worth. Hey guys, for what it's worth, I love corned beef.
I just want you guys
eyeballing a nice corned beef sandwich on a
Reuben,
bun, on a pretzel bun.
A Reuben on rye.
Snug in between a couple buns.
You're not giving me any reaction on the corned beef here. Do you know it's like a St. Patty's Day tradition?
No, I do. Yeah, corned beef and cabbage. Yeah.
Okay.
Or
I
are you
actually
stupid, dude?
don't like corned beef. I don't think that's an unpopular opinion either. I think a lot of people don't like corned beef.
Love it or hate it, kind of thing.
It's a weird taste. Should we roll with a couple more tweets? My personal favorite tweet of the week was on 3-1. It was a nice little clever, subtle reminder.
You could say the date. You could say like March 1st.
Well, I kind of had to say 3-1 because it goes with what was tweeted. Never forget the Indians blew a 3-1 lead.
-1. That's on me. Sorry.
That's all right. No one's keeping score. And yeah, it was a perfect way to get out of the winter depression of January and February. Kick off March 1, open my eyes, pop out Twitter, take a look at Shy Sports Daily. What do I see?
Chris Bryant's blue eyes making a play at third base.
I see the Cubs winning the 2016 World Series, and all is right in the world. But that brought me back to a tweet that we had last week on 2/27. Not that it has anything to do with the date here, but I think you asked the question, which Cubs player would you want to start a franchise with? Cubs or Sox player? It was KB, Chris Bryant, Eloy, Javi, Baez, and Tim Anderson. And I thought that was an interesting question.
Bubs is horny.
Bubs is Kyle's dog for those who aren't watching on YouTube. If you're just listening on Spotify.
Yeah, Bubs.
Which one would you pick to start your franchise with? I'm gonna assume you're gonna say a Cubs player. Both.
I'll let Kyle go first.
All right. If I'm starting just overall, or is it like for each team?
No, you just get one player and you're starting your own team.
But it's from both. I get to choose from both the Chicago teams. I would probably pick. Fuck, that's a good question.
It really is. Let's narrow it down to those four players. Let's go to the.
Wait, who? It was Eloy, Javi.
It was Eloy, KB, Javi, and Tim Anderson.
I was gonna say overall, I'd say Lucas Giolito, youngest, best pitcher. I want pitching.
Okay, pitching wins championships. I think the Nationals proved that.
It's a pitching dominated league.
The Astros have proved that before.
Would you not take Lucas Giolito? Wasn't he? He was a Cy Young candidate last year.
I think last year in the shortened season, didn't he have his ERA was pretty high. I think in 19 he had a nasty season with like an ERA in the 2s.
Hold on, I'm looking at.
But
if
if I were to start with one of these four guys, I did a little player comparison between TA and Baez, and their games are actually pretty similar.
Javi's the better defender. Tim's the better hitter.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's that. I mean, he hits for average. And he's definitely a much better average hitter than Baez. He gets on base at a better clip, but that's because his batting average is higher. The difference between his batting average and OBP really isn't that significant. It's like 20 points. So neither of them take a ton of walks. They're up there and they're just raw hitters.
Raw dogging it always.
Yep, that's right. So I think Javi has a little more pop. But he's definitely a better defender. And the tagging thing is such a huge advantage that people don't realize how important that is.
Baseball, it's pretty sweet. The tagging thing.
Yeah. Shut up. You know what I'm talking about. You know what? You should actually tweet a highlight reel of Javi Baez's tags. It's probably 1,000 likes right there.
And just call it the tagging thing.
Yep.
Listen, if I'm starting a franchise today, I'm taking Tim Anderson to start it with. I'm biased, I know, Sox guy here. Hello. But at the same time, he is the swaggiest. I think even swaggier than Javi. So I want Timmy.
They're swaggy in different ways.
No, hold on. Did you see that MLB surveyed the players and asked them who has the most swag on the field? And number one was Javi.
Yep. Was Anderson on the list? I think TA was like.
No, it was Fernando Tatis and Jack Flaherty.
Okay, yeah, I did see that actually. TA is the kind of guy that you love to have on your team, but you hate him if he's on the other team.
Tim Anderson.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like, what was the bat flip? You can't tell me if you're on the other team and he just bat flips on your grave, you're not gonna be like, God fucking damn it, and
Right.
be pissed at him.
He whips the bat at your dugout.
But if you're on his
starts
team,
barking at your coach.
That's what I want, guys like Tim Anderson who are going to be barking at the other coach.
Right.
Literally, woof.
Yeah, I mean he hits on average like 20 home runs in a full season. So I mean he's got some pop too. The best you'll get from Baez, he hit 34 in one season.
Isn't it kind of crazy? Javi's only won 1 Gold Glove.
Yeah, but if you think about it, he hasn't really has he had the eligibility? I don't think he started that many games at shortstop in order to get enough Gold Gloves.
Oh, I mean, still, from 2019 and 2018, at least those 2 years, he was primarily at short.
Yeah.
Because Russell wasn't. So, those 2 years, he definitely had enough games.
Yeah, he should be a lock. Who's the guy scooping him up? Brandon Crawford?
Him, Trevor Story.
Yep.
I guess, it probably was one of those two who won each year, but still.
Yeah, I
don't know how he only has one.
A guy that is fallen down everyone's list of favorites is Chris Bryant. He is in the doghouse.
Don't say that.
With a lot of people, with a lot of fans. A lot of Cubs fans that I talk to just want him gone. On the other hand,
I will never say that.
I think this is a season where he's going to rebound.
There we go. Now we're talking.
I do. I think that he's a great bounce back candidate this year. He's too talented. And I think he's been dealing with injuries that have been weighing him down and lowering his hard contact rate.
As I say, give me the stats. Give me the stats behind your thought of a comeback here.
Yeah, so his hard hit rate is declining. It's definitely declining over the past few years. Hard hit rate in the MLB, or that stat, is basically defined as a percentage of batted balls that were 95 miles an hour or harder off the bat. So it seems like he's getting weaker contact than he was in, say, his rookie of the year MVP season progressively since then, which is not a good sign. It's a metric that a lot of people use to value the true skill of a hitter or what he's been doing over the past however many games. But I really think in 2019, KB I think he had 34 home runs. Last year was a Mickey Mouse season.
Don't you think guys like him, who are just bigger guys in general, they break down easier and earlier in their careers? I think the biggest guy, who's like the tallest guy who's had like a Hall of Fame type hitting career, like A-Rod 6'3".
Yep.
Like, do you see how many 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" guys do you see in the Hall of Fame who are hitters?
Right.
Think of one. Tell me.
Most of those guys are playing basketball.
Luis Gonzalez seems like he was tall. How tall is he?
Luis Gonzalez?
Yeah, is he even a Hall of Famer?
No.
When I think tall, I think Adam Dunn.
That was the first.
This is literally the first thing that came to my mind was Luis Gonzalez.
Adam Dunn was tall. Derek Lee was tall.
Yeah, but again, none of them are Hall of Famers. And
Frank Thomas was tall.
And they all broke down.
Jim Thome was tall.
Jesus Christ, Frank Thomas.
I'm naming as many tall Chicago's. They're basically all first basemen too.
Well, that's the rule, right? You stick the tall kid at first base.
Right.
Okay, so Frank Thomas is 6'5". Chris Bryant's 5'5" or 6'5".
He's 5'5". No wonder. He shrunk a foot.
Playing first base. But besides that, honestly, I can't think of anyone. Most players break down at if they're that big earlier in their career.
The thing that I hate
saying that. I think I want him to bounce back so bad.
The thing that I like most about him is he's patient at the plate. He's always going to get you an on-base percentage that's close to about 100 points higher than his batting average.
Don't you think that he could be too patient though? Come on, the best pitch is half the time, essentially it's that first pitch. I mean, they're throwing it in the strike zone. It's not going to be it's obviously probably not going to be a fastball, but they're still trying to get ahead.
Right. Especially when he's hitting second or third or fourth in the lineup. You want him attacking the ball. Speaking of attacking, have you seen Rizzo these past few days?
Stop it. I watch every single Cubs game.
Hitting nukes into the tent in right center.
Over the berm.
I'm glad games have started, because for a while I was just staring at my phone watching live BP at bats between like Jake Arrieta and Jock Peterson.
Oh, Jock has been looking good.
Young Jock. I really think it's going to be a direct comparison with him and Schwarber this year. But I think
it's actually unreal, like how on every broadcast they'll kind of bring it up, like Schwarber and Peterson and their kind of career numbers. It's like, Jesus, this is the exact same fucking player.
Right.
Like,
no joke. I mean, their stats are eerily similar. So here, let me actually read this off to you, because I went and looked at this.
Stat Guy Max.
Peterson.
Shout out Stat Guy Max.
Peterson, just a little over 2,500 career plate appearances. His batting average was in those plate appearances was 230, on base percentage of 336, slugging of 470, 130 home runs, 12.1% walk rate, 24% strikeout rate. All right. You probably didn't remember any of that, but I'm going to read you Schwarber's now, and it's going to sound really similar. 2,100 plate appearances, 230 batting average, exactly the same as Peterson. 336 on base percentage, exactly the same as Peterson. 480 slugging, 10 points higher than Peterson. 121 home runs, 9 less than Jock. 13% walk rate. That's 0.9% higher than Jock, and then a 28% K rate, which is 4% higher than Jock.
Jesus Christ, how have I not seen that before? That is unbelievable. I mean, I thought they were similar. I mean, that's probably not going out on a limb, but that's bananas.
Yeah,
how crazy, how similar they are.
It really is. So, and I think he's a better defender in the outfield.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Schwartz, he could have been rough.
He looked a little lost out there at times. He definitely got better. He really improved since they moved him out there. But yeah, Peterson definitely slides in as a direct replacement. We're just going to have to hope that he can hit lefties, because his career batting average against lefties is like miserable. 190-ish, yeah.
Which is not great, but
I was kind of hoping they would sign Puig and platoon him with Peterson.
Did you see they were looking at Ioannis?
Yeah, I did see that.
I
how old is he though? No one ever really knows how old those Cuban guys are.
No idea. I bet you on Google he's like 30, 36, 37.
He's just permanently 30. He erases his birth year every year.
He's 35 going on 43.
That's exactly right.
Is that racist?
No. I just think when they come over here, when they come over here to play, they're trying to make as much money as possible. The younger you are, the more money you're probably going to make.
Who was that guy that did, or that it came out for most recently? Was it Bartolo?
It might have been, yeah.
Or he said he was 41, but he was 43.
And I saw
something like that.
I saw something. I think there was a scout or a coach that said that Albert Pujols is much older than he says he is.
I wouldn't even care. You're like sick. You're still just mashing baseballs 400 feet.
Oh my God. Talk about a Cub killer. He was the ultimate Cub killer.
Oh, we're not talking Albert Pujols.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
Let's talk about another. Let's see, what position was he? He was first base. We talked about Rizzo.
So I think on this show we're really going to focus a lot on the Cubs, and we're really going to dive into where they're headed and some of the best bets in the futures for this year. But let's quickly hit on a Russell Wilson update, or a Bears quarterback update for that matter.
Oh,
we're going to give the people what they want and what they need real quick.
I love all these Photoshops. Every single one I see.
You gotta be.
They're getting better. They're getting so good.
If I could just say one thing to Ryan Pace, in a trade for Russell Wilson, I'll just say, you got to be unlimited. When the Seahawks ask what they want, you're going to be unlimited. Have you ever seen that video of Russ?
Yeah, Jesus. Now I'm just looking up Photoshops of him. This dude is, oh God, yeah.
So
I mean,
I was having this conversation earlier today and yesterday. If you had the choice between trading for Deshaun Watson and trading for Russell Wilson, who would you rather that the Bears go after and why?
Deshaun Watson, younger by a lot, by like
Okay.
what, 6 or 7 years?
Yeah,
Better?
he's 25 and Russ is 32.
Yeah, think of it this way. You have 7 more years of like Deshaun Watson. It said they both played a 40 or whatever. You have 7 more years of Deshaun Watson than Russell Wilson.
I think
probably
Russ
give up
has
three
has
first
2
round
more
picks
years
to-
on his contract, 70 mil in total. So
Well, I'm
35
saying-
mil a year.
I'm thinking if you trade for him, you're going to sign him. He's not going to walk after 2 years. He's going to
Right.
play there for the rest of his career.
For what it's worth, I saw that Russell Wilson spends $1 million or more a year on keeping his body in shape. So, like a dude like that, another Tom Brady type dude, that dude's playing into his 40s easily. So even
Ty-
with
and you,
Wilson,
Ty,
and
that
you
is-
spend them,
That is a great
So-
point. And that's actually a reason as to why I'm on the Russell Wilson side of this.
I was going to say, some you probably spend $1 million trying to kill your body a year.
Spends
Yeah,
at least a
pretty
couple,
much.
a few grand on Bud Lights.
Oh, easy. Yeah.
Friend
It's
of the
not a plug
program.
for Bud Light either.
No free ads.
So yeah, but what I look at is
It's
gonna
got to be Watson. That's the correct answer.
it's going to cost
I'm not
you.
trying to hot take city you, but that's if you say Russell Wilson, I think you're to get Watson 3 first-round picks compared to getting Wilson, which would be probably like what 2 first-round picks.
It's
Okay, I'll
definitely going to
I'll
cost
take
you more
away
draft
one
capital.
first-round You're giving away 1 more first-round pick for like 7 more years.
Right. But think
Is
about
that
it this way:
logic
who do you
sound?
think has a better chance of winning you a Super Bowl?
Probably Deshaun Watson.
Okay. My argument
I'm-
there is Russell Wilson has played in 35 playoff games. So yeah, he's won 2 conference championship games and he has a ring.
Watson's
So
the
you
right answer.
you have to think that kind of playoff experience is valuable, especially in the NFL.
All right. So do you think if we put it to a poll, who would you rather have long-term, Wilson or
Well, yeah, that's a
Watson?
different question. If you're thinking about
That
it
was-
long term,
that was
who would
your
you rather
question.
who would
said
you
it was
rather have who would you rather have with this Bears defense?
Deshaun Watson.
Okay. I'm not saying I'd be displeased or unhappy if the Bears traded for Deshaun Watson. I'd be doing jumping jacks and cartwheels.
So you would rather have Russell Wilson? Are you serious?
Yep.
How?
He just said how. Were
I
you
mean,
not
that's-
paying attention?
If anyone wants
Okay.
to know how, just rewind about 45 seconds.
Yeah.
And
Goddamn, I
I'll get into it again.
Sorry. Sorry, guys, the gummies are kicking in. Christ.
So yeah,
I'll bet
I mean,
I'll bet you. If let's put that question up tomorrow. Who would you rather have, Watson or Wilson?
here's how. And I'm going to tell you how.
For this, and we'll say for this season.
Russell
I bet you-
Wilson has never
give you-
had a losing season in his career.
I'll give you a plus 15 on the spread, so it'll be 65. And if you get 35% of the vote, I'll give you the win. I bet you don't even get 35%.
That's fine. But I'm just going to say this. Russell Wilson has never had a losing season in his career. He's never missed a game. He started every game that he's played in. Okay?
Yeah, but
He's-
he's always just been on a better team. The Seahawks have always had a good defense, and the Texans, they suck. They just
Right.
suck. It's
But
plain and
but
simple.
in crunch time in a tight game,
I'd rather
I
have
want,
Deshaun Watson do crunches.
I want Russell Wilson.
It's just wrong. Let's put
All
a
right.
wager on this. Let's put a wager on this.
What do you want? How do we wage on this?
If
What are we betting on?
well, you have to $5 bet on the next over. You have to
$5
pay it.
bet?
$5 $5 Billy here. I'll even give you 15%. I bet you at least 65% or more You
I
went
hate to
14
throw
and a
this
half
out there
point
because
spread.
not that it's really fair that it matters, but Watson did also tear his ACL.
What
Here
do
we
you-
go again. Here we
Hey,
go again
hey.
with the ACLs.
Hey, can we? You want to hear about that part? Just rewind. We talked about that earlier. We're a no ACL podcast here. All right, there we go. $5. We'll leave it up for 24 hours. I bet you.
Fantasy wise, I'll take
God.
Deshaun Watson every year.
I'm gonna put it up now.
But that's
on the
probably
fucking-
because his team
now
is going to be
I'm
down by 20 points in the third quarter, and he has to throw 40 or 50 times.
I'm asking this question right now. Who'd you rather have at QB this season?
Hey, let them know we're talking about it on the podcast, so that they know to listen about it.
Look at this guy.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. I don't know, man. I mean, win now, Wilson probably get it done for you
Thank you.
for sure. And honestly, I don't know the Bears like you guys know the Bears. I don't know what the offensive line is like, but like Sean can only handle so many more hits before he breaks.
Well, that's another problem with Wilson too. I will say that. I'll admit that. Wilson's the most hit quarterback in the NFL over the past, I think, 4 years.
Watson's got to be right behind him.
Yep, he's up there too. And that's actually the reason that Wilson wants out of Seattle, I think, is they're not taking care of him. But he does hang around in the pocket quite a bit. Obviously, he can move around.
Just
but
posted it. Here we go.
I'm sticking with my guns here. I'm thinking about rings right now. I'm thinking about who do I want under center next season for the Bears with the team that they have. And I want Russell Wilson.
You're thinking rings. I'm thinking wings. Let's
Right.
go.
Exactly.
Oh, look at that. 100% of the vote already for Wilson or
Nice.
Watson.
Did you switch to your other account and vote for Watson?
That's exactly what I did.
All right. So, but yeah, that
Stop the count.
regardless
Stop the
regardless of
count.
what we think, we would be beyond thrilled to have either one as the Bears quarterback this season and many seasons to come, hopefully. But I just thought I thought it was pretty funny to hear. I read a quote this week, and I'm sure a lot of people have already heard it, but Russell Wilson said, or a source says that Russell Wilson likes the emerging O-line, a good, solid, offensive-minded head coach, and an intriguing market that make Chicago. That's what makes Chicago appealing to Wilson.
That's two truths and a lie.
I wrote down on the notes. I said 2 of these things are not like the other. So yeah, you're coming to a great market, sure. Best fans in the country. I'll give you that. You could get a Portillo's hot dog whenever you want. Like, there's a lot of good things about Chicago. Summertime shy, dude.
Deep dish pizza.
Deep
mostly.
dish pizza. Everyone's nice. Everyone's way nicer here, I can guarantee you, than probably Seattle or New York.
But Matt Nagy is not an offensive genius.
But Matt Nagy is not good or solid, and he's not an offensive-minded head coach.
Russ must not have watched any Bears games this year.
And it's really nice of him to say that the O-line is emerging, but I think most Bears fans will agree that that's something that needs attention this offseason.
I mean,
I'll agree.
And whenever they played the Titans week 9 or 10, they were literally not even an NFL line. So anywhere from up was emerging.
Right. So yeah.
In that sense, they're emerging.
You can't really descend from the lowest of lows.
The bottom of the ocean.
Right. Exactly. So let's just, for anyone who's listening to this podcast, let's keep that on hush though. Make sure that doesn't get back. Yeah.
Don't let Russ know that.
Don't let him find out until
he's got like 1.5 out of 3. Right.
No, I mean, in all seriousness, if he becomes the franchise quarterback here, they will build around him and protect him. And I feel like Nagy's living on borrowed time anyways. It all comes out in the wash. So, and by that, I mean, no matter who's on the offense, unless it's Mahomes with Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, I don't know that Nagy's going to be a successful play caller in the NFL.
That kind of depresses me, but I don't think you're that wrong.
I think the other thing is Russ forgot to mention that maybe one other thing would be the guru talent evaluator GM that the Bears have too.
Do you think I think he's bad at evaluating quarterbacks. I mean, he signed Mike Lennon and drafted Mitch, but you could say pretty much everywhere else. I mean, he drafted so Justin Johnson
Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson.
Yep. Roquan.
Eddie Jackson, Roquan,
Kyle Fuller,
Adrian Amos. I mean, I know he left, but he's a 5th rounder that was good.
He did skip on George Kittle for Adam Shaheen.
So he's good on the defensive side. He drafted Eddie Goldman.
Yep. No, I mean,
by the way,
drafted Anthony Miller.
Compliment of the day for you.
Also drafted Kevin White.
I was watching George Kittle on a podcast and decided you and him are like the same person.
I don't know if that's a compliment because he's a pretty scary looking dude.
I mean, I don't know. The mannerisms.
Mannerisms.
It's a
the
compliment.
mannerisms.
Oh no, I'll definitely take it. George Kittle's a beast.
Who am I like, Psalm?
Fucking Elmer Fudd.
It's Wabbit season.
Mostly.
So actually, that's a good take. He's good on the defensive side, horrendous on the offensive side. Because think about it. He drafted Kevin White with the 7th pick in 2015. He traded up for Trubisky. Jury's still out on Trubisky. I don't know that we can really say that he's a bad quarterback, but obviously not of the caliber of Watson or Mahomes. That much is clear. And he also passed on George Kittle for Adam Shaheen, who I don't think is going to be on the Bears roster.
He obviously drafted Montgomery and Cohen, so he's good at running backs.
Yep.
He's good on the O-line. He drafted James Daniel, Cody Whitehair.
So maybe that's what needs to happen.
What happened to
when the Bears when we're like 5 picks away from the Bears and they're about to be on the clock and they know they need an offensive weapon, someone needs to just rip Ryan Pace out of the room. Like just lock him in the janitor's closet so that he can't make the pick.
All right, we're taking Watson.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
God damn it. God damn it.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens as things develop this week, but it really does seem like the hot stove is heating up this week, day by day for the Chicago Bears quarterback position.
Do you know when the deadline is for teams to make roster cuts so it doesn't count against their cap for next year?
I hope you do.
Well, no, because when doesn't NFL free agency start this week?
Soon, I think, right?
Yeah. It starts in March 17th.
So then here, 10
days.
Just to take us back to reality and to ground us a little bit, I'll hit you with some gravity here for a second. I was just reading articles about Bears options for QB and what's going to happen and whatever, just trying to figure this out. And in order, the headlines on Google I see are Bears favorites to land Seahawks QB. Bears have massive offer on the table for Deshaun Watson.
All right, so
next thing I see, Bears QB options include Alex Smith, Sam Darnold, Marcus Mariota,
and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
And after Shy Sports Weekly episode 1 was released, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So this poll 7 minutes in, 533 votes, 52-47.
Okay. See, I told you. I figured it'd be closer than you thought. And who's in the lead? You didn't say that.
Watson's in the lead.
Okay. We'll see how that turns out. I would expect Watson's going to win, but I think it's going to be less than 60-40.
Okay. Well, when we stop at the end of this episode, we'll see where it's at, and we'll declare the winner then.
Deal. And then what? $5? $5 to the winner?
$5 Billy.
Beautiful. I could use it.
What else is cooking here?
Let's switch back over to baseball for a minute. I was reading something interesting this week, something that just randomly came to me. I kind of just get hit with random Cubs players that played anywhere from the year of 2002 to 2015. Guy that crossed my mind a couple days ago, Rich Harden.
Richard.
So he was absolutely filthy for a couple of years with the A's, and then when the Cubs picked him up in that trade, when they got him in 2008, I was pretty psyched.
Do you remember his first game?
I do.
What was it? How many strikeouts?
I think it was the second week of July. I believe he had 11 Ks.
Are you looking that up right now?
No, that's off the top of my head.
I thought he had 10, but I thought he went 5 innings, had 10 Ks. That's outrageous.
So that was the thing about him. He
5
would
innings, 10 Ks, 7 walks.
Yeah, so he would go 5 or 6 innings, but that's because he would have so many pitches because he struck so many guys out.
And then
But-
he'd walk people too.
And
It wasn't
clearly
like
he
just strike them out.
clearly he walked a few guys. But yeah, he had nasty stuff. The Cubs, this was the same year that the Brewers had just went and got CC Sabathia. And then big Jimmy Hendry went out and got Rich Harden from the A's. So his ERA was 1.77 in 12 starts with the Cubs that year. They got him first week of July.
His ERA was 1.77.
1.77 with the Cubs.
It's
Really just
Jesus.
steaming hot at Wrigley. And he had 89 strikeouts in 71 innings, which is a pretty good K9. Once again, we're not math guys, but
Decent.
yep. So yeah, and then he pitched I think he pitched game 3 of their playoff game against the Dodgers. They got swept, obviously. But yeah, I was actually in game 1 of I was at game 1 of that series sitting in the bleachers.
Were you really?
Yeah. James fucking Loney hits a grand slam and crushes my 14-year-old dreams. But yeah, the most interesting part about this trade, I thought, was the Cubs got Rich Harden and Chad Godin, who was a reliever.
Chad Godin. How we doing?
Who they gave up.
Talk about random Cub of the week.
They gave up Matt Merton, the Red Rocket. They gave up Matt Merton, Sean Gallagher, Eric Patterson.
Well, at least none of those guys had a good career, right?
Right. But then last but not least, Josh Donaldson.
You hate to see it.
The future AL MVP. And at the time, he was just a throw-in on the trade. No one really knew much about him. He was just kind of a prospect in the Cubs system that was just an add-in.
Oh, that's disgusting. I absolutely hate that.
So they throw him in the trade. He goes to the A's for Rich Harden. Turns out to be the monster that he is, the bringer of rain. But yeah,
good nickname.
It's not a great that's not a great look.
No, it's not. He could still be playing third for the Cubs right now.
People would say that's a bad look there, Bob. Do you think that's worse than the Eloy Quintana trade?
Hard to say. I'm gonna say yes, as of right now. Will it turn out to be worse? Maybe not, because Eloy looks like he could be a superstar.
And Quintana is no longer with the Cubs.
Right.
Already.
So yeah, keeping on the subject of baseball, let's get into a segment that we're gonna consistently have on the show. So yeah, this segment's gonna be called Down on the Farm. We're gonna talk prospects, ideally 1 or 2 a week, 1 or 2 Cubs Sox prospects a week, and give you guys a little bit of detail about what's going down on the farm with each of their minor league programs and who are some of the hot up and coming names. So this week, let's talk about a big name, one that's probably going to be in the bigs for the White Sox. We've been talking a lot of Cubs on the show, so let's give the White Sox a little love.
We don't hate the Sox, trust me.
Guy by the name of Andrew Vaughn. Kyle, what do you know about Andrew Vaughn?
Well, I'm looking at these notes here. Favorite with a hat on, he looks like Michael Rappaport.
First and foremost,
not great.
Not great. He does. If you Google him right now, you'll see it.
He's only 6 feet tall.
Yeah, he's 6 foot 214. It's a brick shithouse.
fucking nuts.
But yeah, he was the third pick in 2019. It looks like he's going to wind up being the Sox DH on opening day. And the guy hits taters. He's got a really natural swing and just attacks baseballs.
Yeah, I saw a few highlights from him in spring training. I think he homered against maybe the Royals, but I think he absolutely just mashed one.
Yep.
He has like, yeah, you're right. He has like you remember when you were a kid and you had that like blue aluminum bat and that it was like a big barrel and you could just fucking whip it around and smash balls?
That's exactly what he looks like at the plate.
But in a major league game.
Like he's hitting wiffle balls.
Yeah.
Of course he came from Cal because that's where it feels like 75% of the MLB prospects come from.
Yeah, I mean, fucking breeding ground there, Florida.
But he seems like he's going to be a slam dunk draft pick for the Sox. At Cal in 2018, he went to Cal University. He hit .402 with a .531 on base percentage, .819 slugging, and 23 home runs and 199 at bats. And he's got the high on base percentage, which is kind of what the Sox are lacking right now in their current lineup.
Those are banana land stats. Jesus
right.
Christ, 402.
And yeah, and he's the highest he's played in minors is an A ball. So it's kind of interesting that they're already trying to pull him up to the bigs. But with that kind of swing and talent, I think he should have no problem hitting big league pitching. Obviously, he might go through his ups and downs, but
God, dude, the Sox are so stacked.
I know. He's going to be tucked in nicely in that lineup. He'll have plenty of protection.
I was about to say he's going to be right in the probably sitting 6-7.
Yeah.
Right around there, but he'll have Nick Madrigal who just will hit 330 in his sleep behind him.
I saw a T-shirt recently that had Nick Madrigal's face on Bernie Mac's body from the Mr. 3000
Mr.
movie.
3000, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fucking good movie.
It is. Rest in peace, Bernie.
Rest in peace, Bernie. Yeah.
Madrigal seems like the kind of dude that could get to 3,000 hits. I mean, he's already got 4.
That's huge.
Wait, he only has 4. He only had 4 hits last year. Was he injured?
No, he's got more than that. I think he came up with the September call-ups.
Oh, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the type of bat the ball guy that does rack up.
That could do it.
His small frame allows him to fucking play longer.
Yep. He's really he's like an old school player almost. He's not what the MLB is all about these days. He's got 35 hits. 35 hits in 2020. He batted .340.
Yeah. That'll get the job done.
And he's got quick hands.
.340. Who's got quicker hands? Madrigal.
Bias.
Let's talk Cubs.
So yeah, I think that'll wrap the show for this week. You got anything else you want to cover?
No, I just want to go back to the to our poll from earlier. Let's see where it's at. All right, Watson is still ahead of Wilson. 925 votes total. It's 52.48%.
Okay. So I got a percent closer, didn't it?
In the wrong direction for me, yeah.
In the right direction.
One direction, the base.
Let's see where this one lands. We'll check in on it next week.
Yeah. We'll mark that down. Odds we actually talk about it again are 10-1 though. Remember to talk about it.
Right. Remember to talk about it. Remember to watch the Hawks this week.
Remember the Alamo.
And remember we're having Andy Martinez on.
And remember we're having Andy Martinez. Yep. Cubs writer for Marquee Sports.
Big Bears fan.
Big Bears fan. He's going to give us a lot of knowledge and insight about the Cubs and what to expect in 2021.
But
we'll get into some.
It's going to be smart, actually.
Yep, it's going to be something that is worth your time.
It won't be an hour of just us spewing nonsense.
And we're going to talk to him about gambling a little bit, probably some Cubs futures, season win totals.
Just hammer the over on everything.
Yeah, I think we're going to deep dive into baseball, into Cubs and Sox.
Analysis.
Make sure to check out the podcast, the links It's available everywhere you can find a podcast, but go to the Twitter. We'll post them. Try Sports Weekly on all platforms, including the YouTube page. Subscribe, 5 stars, all that shit they say about podcasts. Do that.
Rip on us. We'll read a review. If we
Go
get
Hawks.
if we